Chris, what is our second main topic today?
This comes from Connor M. I was on Twitter and saw that Mark Wahlberg actually had real meetings at Warner Brothers pitching a sequel to The Departed. The interesting thing about the story is that the pitch had Brad Pitt and Robert De Niro in it. My question is, with all the Oscars the first film won, and with such big name talent attached to it, and a major star like Wahlberg pitching it, why would the studio turn it down when so much other crap gets a green light? Thanks, then. Don't have a good day. Have a great day.
Oh, a little bit of free guy in there. I like that. All right. Thanks a lot for sending that in, man. Okay, listen. My favorite Martin Scorsese movie is The Departed. It is a remake of my all-time favorite cop film, Infernal Affairs. And, I don't like it quite as much as Infernal Affairs, but it's magnificent. Won Best Picture at the Academy Awards, and it's the film that won Marty Scorsese his first, and I believe only, Best Director Academy Award. I love this film. Matt Damon was fantastic in it. Leonardo DiCaprio was fantastic in it. Mark Wahlberg was fantastic in it.
Unbelievable.
Got an Academy Award nomination for it. Alec Baldwin was fantastic in it. Him and Wahlberg's dynamic together was pretty great in it. And I love this movie. Now, like I said, The Departed is based on an original Asian film called Infernal Affairs, which is my all-time favorite cop film. That had several other films come out after it.
Yeah, it had several sequels.
So it's not the most ridiculous thing in the world to think about a sequel. Well, apparently Mark Wahlberg himself really did go to the studio and try to pitch his own idea for a sequel. Not following the sequels of the original films, but their own sequel. This is what he had to say. Okay, this is from our friends over at Joe Blow. And Mark Wahlberg said, I went into a meeting with Bill Monahan, the screenwriter, at Warner Brothers. So the two of them went in to pitch this to Warner Brothers together, to pitch the sequel to The Departed. And let's just say the pitch didn't go very well. He really didn't have anything fleshed out, but he's the kind of guy you just trust to go and write something. And so when we were working on the script for Cocaine Cowboys, American Desperado, I said, Bill, just go write. They like to have things well thought out and planned. So that pitch didn't go well. William Monahan had previously teased a sequel or / prequel over a decade ago, saying, my idea actually is to set the film before, during, and after the action of the first film, which I think would be extraordinary. Essentially, in the middle section of the thing I've intended, you'd see actions that take place during the original Departed, but aren't on screen in the original Departed. There would be off-screen things that occur at that point in the story, but it would work seamlessly as a point of its own. And that, of course, comes to us from the folks over at Joe Blow. And, when I hear him describing this, it does sound a little bit like Godfather 2. In a way, that clearly was his inspiration. Because in Godfather 2, we got some of the movie takes place before the events of the original Godfather. Some takes place after the events of the original Godfather. So it sounds like there was a little bit of that in there.
Everything tastes better with the Little Godfather 2.
Everything tastes better with the Little Godfather 2. So listen, as a major Departed fan, I got to tell you, I'm totally open to the idea. Now, the really interesting little part of this, too, was that he went in there pitching Brad Pitt and Robert De Niro. So not getting, well, obviously some of the characters can't come back from the original Departed, but not looking at the original cast, but bringing in a Brad Pitt, a Robert De Niro, who I guess would have been off-screen auxiliary characters during the events of the first Departed, I'm guessing. I'm telling you what, everything about this sounds good to me. So it's kind of unfortunate that they botched the event. So mark me down as somebody would have said, yeah, I would have loved to have seen a sequel to this if they had done it, but clearly they didn't have it ready to go. Rob, I know you are somebody who appreciates The Departed as well. What did you think about this? Wahlberg pitched them and they wanted to get one going, but they just couldn't make it work.
Yeah, you know what? There's so many projects in Hollywood that could have been great that never get made. I mean, hundreds of more than the things that do get made, thousands. But I would have liked to have seen this only because you could always fall back to the movies that were already made in Hong Kong. But I like this approach. I think it'd be really, really interesting. And also, Wahlberg's character, Dignan, isn't Detective Dignan? Is that his name? I
can't remember the name.
He was great. And of course, he has a great part to play in the climax of The Departed and all that. I think it would have been great. I would like to have seen it. Although, John, to be fair, The Departed winning Best Picture, it's such a good movie.
So good.
Sometimes it's just enough to let something exist, let it be pure. You know, there's no reason to take something away that don't diminish it. Don't, because it could never be as, I mean, I shouldn't say it could never be, but you know what? The Departed.
But couldn't you said the same thing after the first Godfather? Couldn't you said it won Best Picture? It was great. It's a standalone. Leave it alone. We don't. And now a lot of people think Godfather 2 is the greatest film of all time.
Yeah, but that's you can't take the outliers, like the greatest movies in the world, and say let's aspire to this. But yes, that point can always be made. You know, I mean, but I would have liked to have seen it, but I'm glad kind of it didn't get made.
Yeah, look, if they went in there and didn't have the right pitch for it, then I'm glad they didn't say, let's just trust it'll be okay.
If Monahan had gone in there with like the script, this is it, man, and it was all written and ready to go, and people would have been like, oh my God, then I would have been like, okay, that's too bad.
All right, Chris, I don't know. Like, you are somebody who I believe never saw the original Departed.
No, I don't know what disappoints my Dorchester, Massachusetts-born mother more, that I'm an actor or that I've never seen this film.
Wow.
Like, it's a cold Christmas when I come home, and she's like, "You haven't seen that?" This sounds weird to me. I don't know. I mean, the first thing I thought of too, just because of recent movies, where I was like, did they watch Endgame and were they like, yeah, let's do this and have us see things from behind the scenes? If it's executed well, sure, that could be cool. But, you know, I don't think my opinion really matters on this since I haven't seen the first one. I'm just talking out of my butt.
You really should. It's really fun.
It's
Yeah.
fantastic.
You should really talk out of her butt.
You should watch it, and then at some point you should go and watch the original Infernal Affairs, because
Okay.
they're both like
They're
absolutely
great.
fantastic.
But you're watching things out of your butt and talking out of your butt? This what's going on?
Confusing
on this show?
time. Ladies and gentlemen, question is for you. What do you think about Marky Mark saying he tried to get that Departed Funky Bunch back together again, but they couldn't quite do it? Would you have been interested in a sequel? Whatever you guys are thinking, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Guys, we want to take just a minute and thank the sponsor of this video, Masterclass. Masterclass is offering classes on a wide variety of topics, like all taught by world-class masters at the absolute tops of their field. Each class is broken down out into individual video lessons, usually like around 10 minutes or so long, and members can explore at their own pace. And each class is supported by downloadable materials, lessons, recipes, or more that you can all find at masterclass.com. For example, are you into streaming? Well, you can take the Building Your Streaming class taught by ninjas so you can sharpen up on your streaming skills. Or if you're interested in independent filmmaking, take independent filmmaking from Academy Award winner Spike Lee. You want to get classes on how to direct? How about from Ron Howard? The very first one I personally looked up and got into was Business Leadership by the great Big Papa Iger, Bob Iger himself. And I was absolutely enthralled with it. I love every single minute of this stuff. If any of those apply to you, you need to try Masterclass. So I highly recommend that you check it out. Get unlimited access to every Masterclass, and as a John Campea Show viewer, you get 15% off an annual membership. Go to masterclass.com/Campea. Once again, to get 15% off your annual membership, go to masterclass.com/Campea.